Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a controversial view. Now, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We usually talk about just one film. Today we're going to be talking about 7 films and a franchise. And it's actually the La Casa franchise. Now, La Casa means house, the house. So, what I'm going to do first is spell out what the La Casa franchise is so that we're clear. And then we're going to talk a little bit about why it is the way it is. Okay. The first La Casa film is actually The Evil Dead. Now, I know that may seem a little strange, but if you go and buy this film overseas, you'll have to buy it as La Casa. Now, La Casa 2 would make perfect sense. It would be Evil Dead 2, right? Right. But not everything is as simple as it's going to get. Now, of course, Evil Dead 2 is La Casa 2. Well, what is La Casa 3? Well, La Casa 3 just happens to be an Italian film called Ghost House. And to make things convenient and simple, Scream Factory actually put a double feature out of La Casa 3 and La Casa 4. So La Casa 4 is Witchery. Confused yet? You'll get there. Okay, then we have La Casa 5, which is Beyond Darkness. Yeah. La Casa 5 is Beyond Darkness. Are you confused yet? No? Okay. Well, let's go for La Casa 6, which is House 2, the second story. House 2 is actually La Casa 6. And finishing off the franchise, which doesn't make any sense to me, is House 3, The Horror Show, is La Casa 7. Now, those are our 7 films in the La Casa franchise. And it's kind of interesting how it became that way. Now, in order for this to become a franchise, you need 4 or more films. So let's scrap that for a minute and talk about the first 2 films, which is pretty easy to understand. The Evil Dead was originally called La Casa. That's fine. That would make Evil Dead 2 La Casa 2. So you would think that Army of Darkness would be La Casa 3, but that's actually not the case. Actually, the case is Ghost House was La Casa 3. Witchery is La Casa 4. So you have these group of Italian films, and if you are into horror, or if you're exploring horror for the first time, you will find that a lot of Italian films actually tack themselves onto varied franchises. For example, there's the Demons franchise, which Joe and I are probably going to be getting into in a later month. Just wait till you see that one. That one's crazy. You also have the Zombie franchise, which most people know the Zombie franchise as Dawn of the Dead as the original zombie, even though Lucio Fulci zombie is actually Zombie 2. Yeah, took a minute there. My brain was going somewhere else. Then you have Zombie 3, Zombie 4, and Zombie 5, Killing Birds, and Zombie 6, which is actually Dawn of the Mummy. But that's not all. That one gets so muddled. I don't think Joe and I are going to even mess around with that franchise. It's just crazy, too crazy. But this one has only 7 films. So why wouldn't House, the first House with William Catt, be La Casa 3? Well, because it's already known as House. It was already out by the time La Casa 3, which is Ghost House, was put out. So it can't be. So what they ended up doing was inserting their 3 Italian films, Ghost House, Witchery, and Beyond Darkness, as La Casa 3, 4, and 5. Now, I find this to be very interesting. House 2, as La Casa 6, was actually the sequel to the original House movie, which isn't even a part of this franchise. So it gets really interesting and crazy. And of course, the one that I don't understand at all, neither Joe or I understand, is House 3, the horror show, as La Casa 7, because that probably has the least amount to do with any kind of house movie that exists. So, this is a very interesting franchise, and they wanted to make films marketable. So, of course, when they went with the first 2 House movies, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, they wanted to expand on that franchise and make it a trilogy and then a franchise from there from part 2 forward. So, the easiest way to capitalize on a film is to attach it to something that's already incredibly well known and will make your money back. So, that's why we have La Casa as La Casa. Hope this wasn't too confusing. I think this is fascinating. And like I said, we are going to be getting into the Demons franchise, which is crazy. Um, it's going to be a lot of fun. And don't forget to check out Joe's controversial view for La Casa. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.